are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
All right, it's a Monday prime time. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, RJ Saunders, Joe C. on vacay. We should change the show name to Big Asses and Big Thighs. What do you think of that?
I'm with it. No doubt.
At least for the week that Joe's off. We should change that.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
All right, you twofers, we're happy to have you in. Like I said, Joe C's getting a well-deserved vacation. We got a lot coming at you, a lot of football. Kind of feels like December right now, Leon. I don't want to get into that. But before we go any further, I saw something that scared me online right before we got on the show.
Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, scared me a little bit too.
So there's a sinkhole opened up in Illinois in a soccer field. And there's actually video online of it. And it actually shows you how it happens. My whole thing is this, and this is just a quick question. You can jump in on the text line brought to you by the good folks at Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010. If you can help us out, if you're scientifically inclined like Leon is, which is why I'm going to throw this question to you, where the hell does all that dirt go? So you've got a hole of 40 yards wide there. They're estimating it to be 100 feet deep. I get it. There's a hole somewhere down there, and I guess it just all drops into that hole.
Middle Earth.
But when you start looking down in the hole, all it looks like is just something's been excavated.
True, facts. So, I mean, it must be something that had to pull that down, the sand down under. So that's what you want to know.
The real hole is underneath what you're seeing.
So you're trying to figure out where the sand go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
You know how many cubic yards of dirt that is?
A lot of dirt, absolutely a lot of dirt.
And that's, to move that, and the size of the hole, I guess, is my point, that it's has to be huge for that thing to drop all that stuff that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like just a slow motion time lapse thing. Like if you go on Instagram or X, I'm sure you can find it. It's not slow mo. It's little actual speed of it, and it drops within a second and a half. Boom, done.
I know. I saw it. Yeah, it was quick.
A little scary.
Yeah, well, it can be.
So you being a science guy, it doesn't scare you, does it?
No, it doesn't scare me. No, especially if you're standing there. Yeah, it's a lot scary.
All right, we just got off a long weekend. Some of you was a really long weekend. You got that July 4 all the way through the end of the weekend, but we are back now. It almost feels like December right now, sirs. Not the weather, obviously.
I'm about to say, what are you talking about?
Not the weather, okay? But I'm talking about the anticipation.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, when you were a kid and we were like 2 weeks into the month of December and Christmas is right around the corner and you just can't wait for it. And to finally be in that moment, remember when you were a little shorty?
Yeah.
That feeling?
I used to be in my underoos waiting to get my packages from Santa. No, my dad killed Santa a long time ago.
He killed it for you.
Yeah, he did. But
Go ahead, say it.
Oh, no. Oh, you talking about what happened?
Yeah, tell how he killed it. Go ahead.
Well, because I came home from school one day and
how old were you?
I might have been 4 or 5 years old. And I came home and I was writing a letter. The teachers all wanted us to write a letter to Santa.
Right.
When we go to school, because Santa was supposed to be at the school. So I'm writing a letter in my bed, all excited, stuff like that, whatever. And then my dad comes in, "What you doing, boy?" So I'm writing a letter to Santa. He said, "Ain't no fat white man coming up in here buying you no gifts. That's you and my mama. That's my mama, your mama and me." I was crushed. I was 4 years old, man. I just looked at my letter and like, wow. So that's how my dad killed Santa.
He threw that funk on you early.
He threw it on me early, bro. He crushed me early.
All right, it's a Macama Monday. We don't want to forget the good folks over there, Macama. Wow, that doesn't start your Monday off. I don't know what will.
Mm-hmm.
The Macama Tap Room in Fernandina, and of course the new location in Wild Light. So here's what I meant by it feels like December, because that's kind of where we are right now, the second week of July. We're 2 weeks away from the start of the Jaguars training camp and the shotgun start to the NFL season. We're 1 week away from the absolute lunacy that is SEC Media Days, the unofficial start of the college football season, where, by the way, Frank Frange and Mia O'Brien and I will be on site in Dallas breaking down all the festivities of the annual menagerie is the best way to say it. We've got multiple NFL and college stories going on right now, and it's so close to this thing to kick off, and it's almost like you can't wait for it to get here. So we got a lot to get into today and throughout this week. I just feel like it's that anticipation, Leon, where like you know it's here, you know it's coming, and it's the difference between Christmas and this is Christmas is, it's 2 hours and it's done, especially when you're a little shorty. It's done after that.
Yeah.
But this is like if you're an NFL fan, this is a 6-month joyride.
Well, I mean, it's the vibe. I mean, just over the weekend, we were watching, of all things, we were watching Wimbledon. We were suffering through Wimbledon watching it and smoking cigars, just hoping football would be back. And training camp is just around the corner, man. It's absolutely right. You're talking about in a couple of 11 days.
Yeah.
The rookies will be in on the 19th, and the veterans will be in on the 23rd. And then we're off to the races. And then I run into some Gator fans. They gave me the chomp over the weekend. So the Miami Hurricane, the football season is right around the corner. So that game is building in anticipation day after day after day. But, yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of exciting football going on in the next couple of weeks. Well, we'll start a training camp. And then next month with the college football getting kicked off. So, man, I can't wait. Absolutely.
All right, so we are going to get into Florida-Miami. A new angle to the Florida-Miami that I think it's going to be very intriguing to you guys. We're also going to get into Florida State and the ACC and what's going on there, if they're getting out, when they're getting out, where they're going. It's intriguing. I've talked to a couple of industry sources in the last week. It's still a little unknown right now. We're going to get Dennis Dowd on later in the week. He's going to talk about that as well. Big 12 Media Days is tomorrow. It's another way to kick off your football fix. But I wanted to start with something I saw over the weekend on Pro Football Focus. And again, you have to take it for what it's worth. Like if you believe in what Pro Football Focus delivers, the content they deliver, some people think it's, they're a little out there. Mm-hmm. They've got former scouts working on that site. So it's legit. There's no doubt it's legit, okay? Mm-hmm. So whatever kind of weight you put into Pro Football Focus, listen to this through that lens, okay? I guess that's the best way to say it. So Pro Football Focus came out with its top rosters, and we talk about top rosters all the time. All the time we'll say, well, at the end of the day, that roster is better than that roster. Mm-hmm. We say that all the time, both the NFL and college football. So 1 to 32, they're ranking the NFL rosters. Let me ask you, who do you think is the worst roster in the NFL?
The worst roster in the NFL?
The worst roster in the NFL. RJ, you're up here as well.
It has to be either the Giants or the Broncos.
All right. RJ?
Worst roster? How about the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, that part. I forgot about them.
All right, well, first off, ding ding for both of you because you nailed the worst three, okay?
Really?
Nailed it.
Okay.
All right?
No surprise.
Broncos are the worst. Mm-hmm. Giants are 31. Panthers are 30. All right, so now give me the top three.
Top three rosters?
Top three.
That will have to be Niners, Chiefs, and Ravens.
Those are my three.
Those are your three, too?
Yeah.
All right, we both got two of the three. It's Niners.
Yeah.
It's Chiefs. And Eagles.
Okay. All right. Eagles.
Now,
right.
Here's where we start going off the rails, okay?
All right.
It's right here at this point where we start going off the rails. Because at number 4 is the Jets.
The Jets?
The Jets.
Stop it.
Now, I'm going to pause real quick to remind everyone it's a vertical passing league. So you have to look through it through the lens of that. So who is your quarterback? Can you throw the ball vertically? Can you score points? That's literally what this is about.
Yeah, because it can be based upon what Zach Wilson was there last year. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers is next up to bat, but, I mean, the 4th best roster in the NFL? I don't know about that, bro.
They got a good D.
They got a great D, absolutely.
Top 12 D, right?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
That offense?
Offensive line can't stop a nosebleed.
Garrett Wilson's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
Good player.
He is.
I mean, they're banking a lot on Aaron Rodgers, okay? That's kind of like, I'm like, all right, that's interesting. 4.
That is interesting.
Ravens are 5. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Lions are 6. Love that. And then here comes number 7. Hold on to your seats.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
As the thunder is booming.
Don't.
And the lightning strikes outside as you're driving around. I'm sure you are. Be careful out there, okay? Just be careful. Number 7, the Houston Texans.
Wow. They're loving on this team,
the
bro.
Houston
Absolutely
flipping Texans. Now, we've talked for, 4 months how the Texans have become the Jaguars of 2023.
They have.
The 2024 Texans are the Jaguars of 2023. There's no doubt about it. They win the division. They win a wild card game. They play well in the divisional game but lose. And they've got a hot young quarterback. And now all of a sudden, they're it. They're everything. They are one of the best teams in the league. They're one of the best rosters in the league, even though prior to this season, prior to this past season, they'd lost 38 games, I think, in the 3 previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Magically, they've got a good roster now. And then magically, they have a number 7 roster in the league. 7.
So wait a minute. So they lost 38 games in the last 3 seasons. That means over the last
Prior to last season.
I mean, over the last 3 years, they had to pick in the top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And now all of a sudden, magically,
One of those years, their pick went away.
Magically, with the wave of the wand, now they're the number 7 team, the number 7 roster in the NFL. Right. That's what you're telling me. Okay. All right.
Or we could look at it this way. Maybe in those 3 years, those 3 top 5 positions, because one of those years they didn't pick because they had traded it away. But the remaining rounds, they did pick at that positional level, 5. Maybe they just drafted well. And maybe they developed well. And maybe they hit on some free agents. And maybe the free agent class they signed this past spring, which includes Danielle Hunter, which includes Autry. Maybe now they're thinking, all right, these young guys are talented guys. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, all these guys, okay? Will Anderson.
Well, that means the coaching staff has to be commended then. Because if they picked all those guys over the last 3 to 4 years
and developed
them, and now all of a sudden that's transitioning onto the field, what they couldn't do with the other coaching staff, then that's just player development. So that means the coaching staff should be commended. Well, I mean, the new coaching staff, absolutely. And he makes you want to play for him. You develop that talent, and DeMarco, he comes across as that type of guy that you would want to play for.
Ryan, yeah.
DeMeco Ryan. Yeah, he comes across the type of guy that you would want to play for. So, it's 3 prongs.
It's also, I think, it's clearly DeMeco Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Bobby Slowick did with C.J. Stroud last year, how he got him ready to play, how he played really well. He didn't really hit a wall. Most rookies hit a wall and they struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It never really happened for him.
Mm-hmm.
So while I question, and I think we should question, the fact that the Texans are 7th overall, the 7th best roster in the NFL, I question that. I think you also have to say, all right, they also are clearly on the right track. Are they not? Yeah. The way they're drafting, their drafts have been fantastic. The way they're developing these guys, the way that Bobby Slowick got I think Bobby Slowick, oh, by the way, worked for PFF like about 5 years ago. I'm pretty sure he was a scout for them and he wrote for them, if I'm not mistaken. It was either PFF or the other one that's like PFF. So they're doing the right thing. They're developing players. They're drafting and developing, all right, which is the key. Which is the key in college football. It's recruiting and developing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So then you kind of circle all the way back, and I'm going to get to where the Jags are, don't worry. Then you circle all the way back to what Shad Khan said to a group of reporters, Mark Long, Hayes Carline, Michael Duraco, the guys that cover the beat on a daily basis. He sat and talked with them, and the idea was that, hey, the coaches now have to have as much of skin in the game as the players do. And the quote was, where is that? Let me find that. So he's basically putting the coaching staff on notice. Look, you got to do better. You got to develop these guys. The thing that I really liked the most about was the free agency, where he says you can't keep spending money on free agency. You can't keep trying to win through free agency because it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. So then my question is what I said last week when we talked about this, and we saw guys in the text line were screaming at me. I think Doug Peterson is a top 5, top 7 coach.
Yeah.
But if they don't get in the playoffs this year,
they'll be in trouble.
It's on him.
They'll be on him. Yeah.
That's on him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Shad Khan listen, you got to become the kind of team that looks at free agency as a luxury and not a necessity. Because most you're supposed to draft well and develop players so they can be stars on your team. And then you got at least 4 to 5 years with them contractually to where before you pay them the big bucks, that kind of stuff. But if you're steadily spending on free agency, their admittance is that we missed on this guy, we missed on that guy, we missed on that guy. I mean, free agency should be a luxury, not a necessity. Like the Jaguars, for instance, when I came here, They had drafted Tony Baselli and Brian DeMarco, right? Baselli went first, DeMarco went second.
Right.
The Jaguars realized within a year that he struggled. He struggled at the right tackle position. So what are you going to do? Free agency. So the impetus was that we couldn't develop him in the plan.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
Right.
All right. There's a sense of urgency. We got a left-handed quarterback. We can't do it.
Right.
So they go into free agency, and at that particular time, me and Eric Williams were the best right tackles in football.
And they weren't going to move Bo to right tackle.
No.
He's a left tackle.
Yeah. So me and Eric Williams, but Eric Williams was in his contract with the Cowboys. I was a free agent. So they went after me and put me in place. So, I mean, but that's the impetus for the Jaguars that they missed. We missed on this guy. You know, we didn't develop him. So the urgency is we better get us somebody to play right tackle because our quarterback's left-handed.
All right, let me read this quote from Shad Khan, Jaguars owner Shad Khan. And tell me if this doesn't underscore what I've been saying for the last week and a half, that, look, I love Doug Peterson, but it's on him if they do not reach the playoffs. It's playoffs or he's got a problem. He's got a serious problem. Okay, here's the quote from Shad Khan, quote, "I think there's a sea of change for us, and this is for our coaching, that they have to develop young players," Khan said. "Our solution isn't going to be we're going to be signing free agents every year. We don't have the ability."
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the ability. Think about that. In other words, he's saying, I ain't writing checks anymore.
Exactly, and rightfully so. I think we talked about this a couple of years ago. I think Joe had mentioned it, that they
spend more than almost anyone. Yeah.
He's spent what close to $1 billion faster than any other owner in the NFL. That's crazy.
Yeah,
you're new into the league and you're already spending that kind of money on players, and you've got one winning season to complement it, or two winning seasons now to complement it. So he's tired. Shad Khan's tired of writing checks. Everybody can write checks when you ain't writing them. You know, when you say
it's not your money.
When it's not your money, it's easy to go get it or whatever. Yeah, but yeah. Listen, I read that article too. I think Shad Khan was a bit embarrassed by this team, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Now, if I could ask both of you guys, are there 3 to 4 players that are on this roster that have been drafted by this roster, by this organization, rather, that you would like to see develop into those all-pro talents, those guys?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
Number one being Trevor Lawrence. But I want to read the quote again, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Because I know you guys all out there thinking that I'm negative. This is from the owner of the Jaguars. Our solution isn't going to be we're going to be signing free agents every year. We don't have the ability. Bottom line is that young talent has to be developed. The coaching staff, their priorities have to change. Their mindset has to change. That's where we're going to get our future players. We cannot have this addiction to free agents. That's Shad Khan.
Yeah, that's a shot at the coaching staff. You got to develop this young talent. Listen, last year alone, all right, you had healthy scratches from your second, your third, and the fourth round picks, right?
Right.
You had these guys, which that's just one clear example, but it was apparent. All three of those guys who were who's supposed to be impactful players on your team were in their street clothes for a game.
Well,
who's that indictment on, the coaching staff or the player? Or a little bit of both.
I also think it's the guy who picked him.
Yeah,
okay?
that part.
That's another thing.
Yeah, okay, all right.
That's who I think this is really aimed at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it's clearly aimed at Doug Peterson because it's his. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him. Okay, but if you're the Jaguars at the end of last season, you can't sit and say we're good, because here's a newsflash: you're never good enough in the NFL. Never. I don't care what season, what team, what players you have, you are never good enough because everyone is getting better.
See, that's what frustrated me about the Jaguars when they started losing. They were in cruise control. You know what I'm saying? They were like, remember the phrase, "Oh, we're good. We've been in this situation before. We can handle it." No, I don't want to hear that. I need a sense of urgency. And I think, and I said this before, I think Shad Khan was embarrassed about the way the season ended last year. He was 8-3, top of the world, number 1 seed, all the attention.
How could he not be?
Yeah, I mean, I know he had to have aspirations of this team going deep into the playoffs, and then he walks away after the Titans game, and you're out the playoffs. Probably the worst team.
Lose to a team
the worst team in the AFC South.
You lose to a team that honestly was playing. Playing as bad as maybe the worst 3 teams in the league. Was probably one of the worst 3 teams.
They had the worst offensive line I've ever seen. Next to the Giants or the Commanders. They were terrible.
I mean, what did Blaine Bishop tell him?
Blaine Bishop said that he said the 2 tackles, that I don't know how they got in the league.
Shouldn't even be in the league.
Shouldn't even be in the league. We couldn't get the pressure. And they sent Derrick Henry off into the sunset of Tennessee with 144 yards rushing. We couldn't stop the run. Couldn't get any pressure. I mean, that's crazy.
So this goes all the way back to the draft, which we've talked about ad nauseum, how they are shaky in the draft. Better of late, but still shaky. Here's my problem with it is you have needs. And the needs clearly weren't addressed last year. You took a running back and a tight end, of which you needed neither in the second and third round.
But you know what that says, though.
Hang on.
Okay,
because we got to go to a break.
Go ahead.
You took a running back and a tight end, of which you needed neither. Then you roll around to the following year when you need help on the offensive line. And you wait till the fourth round to pick an offensive lineman.
Swing tackle.
A swing tackle who may or may not play guard. And you're relying on a guy who played tackle at App State to move in to play guard, and also, oh, by the way, recovered from a serious knee injury. And we love you, Cooper Hodge. We hope it all works out. There's a lot of we're good going on when maybe you're not so good. And I think we're 2 weeks out of camp, and that's the hesitation I have is, yes, they got better on the defense. There's no doubt they did. If those guys played to their level, they got better, all right? But your key, you are making your bones offensively scoring points, and scoring points means protecting your quarterback. This is all part of one big ball of questions. And I haven't even told you where PFF has the Jaguars at, okay, as far as roster talent. We're going to get to that, too. All right, we need to go to break. It's a McCommon Monday. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, RJ Saunders, Joe C. out on a well-needed vacation. Come on back on the other side. We're going to get deep into Jags and more college football as well.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
1010XL.
Anybody hear that?
1010XL.
Fairly alarmed here. It's a
1010XL.
Clearwater.
John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater irrigation and drainage too.
Pickett here. Brace for hurricane season with our friends at Rhino Shield. Their home exterior coatings withstand 96-mile-per-hour wind-driven rains, keeping your home safe and dry. Rhino Shield's advanced ceramic technology also helps keep your home cooler and reduces your energy bill. This summer, take advantage of their 30% off, 0% interest financing offer, plus a 25-year warranty. Call Rhino Shield, 414-4868. That's 414-4868 for a free estimate, or visit RhinoShieldJax.com. That's RhinoShieldJax.com.
This July, celebrate America's independence with a fresh view from Renewal by Andersen. Hi, this is Chelsea. Right now, buy any 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Our custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors will enhance the beauty and value of your home. Visit rbafla.com to schedule your complimentary design consultation. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Sometimes the most important position in sports needs a translator.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Tired of dealing with clogged drains? What about bad smells coming from your pipes? You need to call Duck Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Duck Duck Rooter can help with any plumbing issue at your home or business. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Looking to make a great impression? Dylan Denmark here, folks, and when I want to score big, I send flowers or a plant from Jacksonville's best, Kuhn Flowers. Yeah, man, it's always a good thing to send someone a Kuhn floral arrangement. KuhnFlowers.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Skylife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at Skylife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. Skylife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly Skylife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes Summers here, so let's talk about something sizzling, making a Bacon 180 with a Waken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile, vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker and more than 21,000 others online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
Yeah, now we're talking, man.
Yeah, I envy you, man, Hayes. I envy you.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to the concert
tonight.
Yes.
Tonight at Daly's place. We got little doobies going on. And, oh, by the way, Robert Cray opening up for him. It's going to be good.
Robert Cray, I'm not familiar with Robert Cray. What is his name?
Blues, man.
Blues, okay.
Blues.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
That'll work all day.
Fired up. Doobies tonight at Daly's place. All right, it's XL Primetime. We are back. Now, listen, Gators and Canes and all. I'm getting to you guys. Don't worry. We are going to get to that. There's some interesting topics I want to bring up. A new fresh angle of Florida, Miami, as well as when is Florida State getting out, if they're getting out, and where are they going? And what can the ACC do to stick together? We're going to get into that. We also got our QB guru, our man, Denny Thompson, coming up. Second hour.
The
Whisperer. I think he likes to be called the Whisperer better than he doesn't like either one of them, actually.
He doesn't?
But he would probably prefer Whisperer over Guru because Guru is like, he does not want to hold that title.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so apparently and allegedly now, we have an answer at least. I'm going to throw this at you, science guy. The 219 text line says, groundwater eroding rock leads to the sinkhole. How do you get so my question now to you?
Yeah.
How are you going to get groundwater on a soccer field that's artificial turf? How's the water getting underneath that turf? Because they typically have drainage systems.
Yeah. Well, Matt Hayes, I don't even want to act like I know. All right, so I just want to tell you this. There's a lot of earth, all right? There's a lot of earth going on, a lot of stuff going on that we have no idea what's going on.
There's a lot of movement. I just want to know where those yards and yards and thousands of yards of dirt goes. That's what I want to know.
You're right.
All.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. All right, we were talking about the Jags. We're going to get back in this real quick, all right? And I see you guys are blowing up the text line about it. And look, it's his team. That's number one. It's Shad Khan's team. So he is the guy that, at the end of the day, has to put the demands on this franchise, on the coaching staff, on the players, on everyone involved. And the teams that are successful in the NFL, the franchises, the organizations in college football that are successful, is everyone is aligned from the top of the guy in the NFL, that would be the owner, in college football, that would be the university president, all the way down to the guy who washes the jersey. Everybody knows their job, and they're all aligned, and they all know what to do and what's expected of them. And I think it's good to have those expectations. It's good for your owner to come out and say, I'm going to say, read this again. Now, this is directly from Shad Khan, okay? Quote, I think there's a sea of change for us, and this is for our coaching, that they have to develop young players. Our solution isn't going to be we're going to be signing free agents every year. We don't have the ability. Bottom line is that young talent has to be developed. The coaching staff, their priorities have to change. Their mindset has to change. That's where we're going to get our future players. We cannot have this addiction to free agents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. You can't do that. Because, I mean, when you go into free agency, you're admitting that you missed on draft picks and that you got to go out there and you got to pay for your own mistake. But the first thing this team needs to do before all that, they got to create a culture of winning. And I thought after Doug went to the playoffs with the Chiefs, I told you I had chills when I told you when Trevor and them lost to the Chiefs. All right, and Trevor was in that ramp and he was patting everybody that was going by.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that. In my mind, that was like Trevor's like, we'll be back in the situation again. And it was unfortunate that it didn't happen, but this team has to create a culture first and foremost by winning games. They get winning significant games when they matter. During the regular season, during the playoff time. That's how you create that culture. Now when you got young talent coming in, draftees, they know what the culture is. The culture is about putting in the work, the time, effort, and the winning. It was so listen, the transition for me when I was with the Steelers was so easy. You know what? Because we had leadership in the locker room. So when you got drafted, you knew what was expected of you. You had to play at a level. It was demanded by the guys like the Woodsons, the Lloyds, the Greens, the DeMont Dawsons. They had already set the bar and the standard. So when you came in, the transition was easy. All right, you played to this level, expectation, and every day. Yeah. So I mean, that's what first and foremost. In order to develop young talent, you got to have the foundation already set for this young talent, so they know what's expected of them. But when you got a franchise that's just been abysmal and been losing, I mean, there's no culture of winning to where these kids can feed off of and grow from. So I mean, you got to do that first and foremost before you do anything.
All right, so you tell us this all the time, and I kind of want to hit on this. And I'm going to get back to where the Jaguars are ranked in this power. This best rosters in the NFL, you'll be shocked, okay? You've said this numerous times, and I think this is a critical part of this, is, number one, players aren't dumb. They know who can play and who can't play. And they might be boys with the guys in the roster. He's my boy and I love him. He can't play. You say that all the time. Guys know who can and can't play, all right?
Yeah.
So going into last season, after you're that close, you get to Kansas City, you get a fumble from Jamal Agnew inside the 5, or you have momentum. At that point you'd be 3 points down. If you score, you got all the momentum. You're on the road. You're this hot team. You're believing, and it just falls apart right there. Okay, you're that close. Why in the world would you say we're good when you weren't good off the edge on defense? You weren't good at corner, at the very least at slot corner. Trey Herndon might be a great dude. Everybody in the locker room might love him. Those guys know we can't play.
He's a liability, yes.
Right.
Yes, he's
so you can't sit there and say we're good. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're getting old and or not good on the other side at guard. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You know these things are there. Why the hell are you picking a running back and a tight end in the first 2 picks of the draft? Why do you not add something in free agency off the edge? We all were screaming about that for how many months? 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Season comes around, you got 2 great starters, end up being, 27.5 sacks. Other than that, bupkis.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You're right. You preach
So
it, you preach it to the choir.
I also think it's not just Doug Peterson. I think it's Trent Baalke too. He's part of this as well. The idea that we can't rely on free agency anymore, as Shad Khan said, quote, we cannot have this addiction to free agents.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally looking at Trent Baalke and saying, you better start drafting better, or I'm going to find somebody who will draft better.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, even worse than that, bro, is this: the offensive line. All right, there was no major.
One of the worst 3 in the league.
One of the worst 3 in the league.
And the year before, they wore those T-shirts at camp that said they were the 30th best offensive line. Remember that?
I remember.
Because that
Absolutely.
was the motivation for them, that they were the 30th best.
I wouldn't have worn that shirt. I would be embarrassed. I would have been embarrassed to wear that shirt.
But my point is they wear that, and then they go out and fulfill the prophecy.
They do. Absolutely. And we've been told that the offensive line is good again.
Stood pat.
Yeah, we're going to stay pat. We had injuries. We had mix-ups. We had guys playing out of position. The same offensive line that played together in week 17, 18?
Yeah, the only time they played together.
Only time they all played together, and they were terrible.
Got whipped.
Absolutely got terrible. Got manhandled. So, I mean, yeah, once again, here's the offseason. We go and get Mitch Morris, all right? Now we're good. Yeah, Fortner's the scapegoat. It was all his fault.
Apparently Luke Fortner is the problem of the entire ills for the Jaguars.
Absolutely.
It's all Luke Fortner.
It was placed on him. And but any good offensive lineman knows who played the position and coached the position that knows that the center is not always one-on-one by himself. He's usually got help from either guard or either position, depending on what side the nose guards are. So that means that the center and the guard were getting beat on plays at some particular point in time. All right. And when
or all 3.
All 3, yeah, absolutely. So making Fortner the scapegoat is just making him the scapegoat, because that will let you know right there that all 3 of those guys struggled at some particular point,
right?
When they had to go up against the 1, the 3, and the Mike, because essentially that's your guard.
That's your job.
That's your job.
Yeah.
The interior, the meat and potatoes of your run game is your ability, the 2 guards and the center's ability to block the 1, the 3, and the Mike.
All right, so let's real quick, RJ. Let's do a XL Primetime poll. All right, it's very simple. Very simple. If this team doesn't reach the playoffs, who should be held liable? A, Doug Peterson, B, Trent Baalke, or C, both? Now, old school. All right, get that out, Leon, RJ, and we'll throw that out, and you guys can respond on the text line. You can also respond on YouTube. I know you all are watching us on the live stream. In the old days, they're both out. Old days is if you're not winning, coach gone, GM gone.
Mm-hmm.
Not that way anymore.
No, they get a longer leash. They get a longer leash now. Yeah, old school. Well, listen.
The GM at least, longer leash.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, especially if you miss on draft picks. When you got healthy scratches on guys you just drafted that year. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but listen.
You need offensive line help. You need It's clear your offensive line is not good.
Mm-hmm.
You avoid the offensive line until the 4th pick. Okay, you add a aging veteran in free agency for the offense. I'm not saying Mitch Morse will. Maybe Mitch Morse will play really well and be all pro this year. Who knows? He's aging. He's clearly on the decline as far as you look at the bell curve of someone's career in the NFL. He's on the other side of the curve.
Yeah.
Okay, much like Brandon Scherf.
Yeah.
So you clearly need help on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Just like last year, you clearly needed help off the edge, and you clearly needed help at slot corner.
Mm-hmm.
In both years, you did not address your needs.
True.
Instead, you took best player available.
Mm-hmm. But we're not in a position to take best player available. We're not that good. We just had one winning season in 5 years or whatever. You got to take knees. You got to take guys, and you can't tell me that you sat there and watched the film with the offensive line, their inability to push and get to the next level or block guys. I told you, dog. I told you, Matt. It was sometimes where I was just praying for a stalemate. Just give me a stalemate.
Think about that concept. You're praying for a stalemate.
Oh, it was like a jailbreak in there half the times. And listen, I can't unsee what I saw. I mean, they had the statistics. They said 1 out of 4 times this Jaguar team either got 0 yards or lost yards.
Right.
25% of the time.
Right.
That's crazy.
And I'm actually trying to be like July Joe this offseason because I think Trevor's going to play really well this year. I really do. I really think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a great season. And RJ asks us, who are the 3 or 4 players who need to now, step up and take this team by the hand and say, this is how we're playing. This is where we're headed. And I want to get your 4 guys too, and I'll give you 3 or 4 guys. I want to be that guy, but then you read these quotes from Shad Khan, and you realize he's pissed. There's really no other way to look at it. Mm-hmm. He's spent a lot of money. Mm-hmm. They should be better than what they were last year. They were 8-3 with a chance to get the 1 seed, and it fell apart. And you can say injuries and fine. Okay, fine, injury. Everybody has injuries in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Everybody responds from injury in the NFL.
Absolutely. At that particular time of the season, everybody's hurt.
But here's the thing I want to talk to you. I'm going to get your 4. And I'm going to tell you where the Jags are on the roster. I promise I will. So here's the thing. And you've said all along the players know who's good and who's not good, right? Mm-hmm. They know once again they needed help on the offensive line, the guys in that locker room, and it didn't happen. So we hear them say, oh, no, we're good, like last year. No, we're good. We'll figure it out. You know why they say we're good? Because at the beginning of the season, the GM said we're good. No, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's the thing. I know that we say we in the locker room we say, hey, that guy's good, not good, or whatever. But to be honest with you, Matt, last year neither side of the ball had any room to speak on anything.
Yes.
Okay.
The last 6 games, absolutely.
We couldn't run the ball and we couldn't stop the run. So I mean that because the foundation of your team should be the interior, your offensive
both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball. All right. All right, your toughness, your mentality, your mindset should be. So those guys should be the toughest guys on your team.
Imposing your will. That's how you win football games.
Because most of the time they're going up against each other all the time. All right. So this team has, and they went on the free agency. All right. You went and got Armstead, which I believe
could be a good pickup.
Could be a great pickup.
Yeah.
And then you go into the draft and you get Mason, and you get
That's
he's a project. Is he a project?
Yeah, you could call him a project. Yeah, he's uber talented. But who knows how he's recovered from the knee.
Exactly. So, I mean, that part, you think that the Jaguars, Trent Baalke said it during the offseason, this team has got to, on both sides of the ball, has got to be tougher and more physical.
Yeah.
All right? I don't know how you simulate that, but he said it, all right? But on
Pixie dust.
Exactly. I don't know how you simulate that, but he said it. So we go and get Mitch Morris, all right? We hang Fortner out to dry. He's the problem, okay?
Yeah.
But Mitch is older. He's had injury issues, all right? He's got a guy, he's got a guy to his right, who's underwhelmed, who hasn't been playing as an all-pro.
Also on the other side of the bell curve, yes.
He's been underwhelming, okay? Yeah. When he came from Washington, he was an all-pro, right? Then you got Ezra over here, and he's a what-if guy. He's
100% a what-if guy.
He's a what-if guy.
I keep on hearing people say, well, they extended him. Well, they had nothing else.
Yeah.
And they needed a guard.
They didn't need a guard.
And if you watched him play last year, he looked good every once in a while. It wasn't a guy where you're like, whoa.
And then, then you got Cam Robinson. Off the suspension, solid guy, solid.
The tackles are the best part of that line, man.
Absolutely solid. He has sometimes issues run blocking. Pass protecting is a lot better than his run blocking. Then you got Anton Harrison, who's the rookie, who, by the way, was the most consistent guy on the field. That's not supposed to happen.
No.
Run blocking and pass protection. So, that's what you're dealing with. And God forbid if anybody gets injured. If anybody gets injured.
Why would you even say that?
The tail of the tape is just short.
That's blasphemous right there.
I'm just telling you, bro. You 17 games is a long time, bro. You got to stay healthy.
Well, fortunately, you'll have a tackle. When Walker Little, at the very least, gives you an opportunity if one of your tackles gets hurt, that you at least unless
what does he do?
Unless he gets traded. Unless he wants out,
Bro, I can't. Bro, he has the ability. He could be an elite tackle if given the opportunity. But the numbers game say he's going to be a swing guy.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you stay and be a swing guy, or do you ask to be traded to go somewhere and start and make some starter money?
All right, we're going to get back into this. I wanted to get to the college, but this is, the problem is you get annoyed. And you get annoyed, and then you start to talk a little bit more, and then it develops into a full-blown conversation. Because usually we get annoyed in the pre-meeting.
True.
And then it doesn't spill over to the show. But reading those quotes from Shad Khan, I don't know how any Jags fan cannot read those quotes and say, all right, this has got to stop. All right, we need to go to break. We'll come back on the other side. I'm going to tell you where the Jags are as far as the rosters in the NFL by Pro Football Focus. And we got our quarterback guru, Benny Thompson, coming up, second hour. Come on back.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Where beating and banging is no harm, no foul.
Beats and bangs his way to turn 20.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer is here on the First Coast. Long days, short sleeves, and soaring temperatures that can do a number on your AC. If you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Hope is not a plan, so do what I did and plan ahead with an expert AC tune-up from Fenwick Home Services to avoid those costly summer breakdowns. Fenwick has you covered with same-day service, including maintenance plans, free same-day estimates, and guaranteed repairs. Book your expert tune-up today and avoid costly breakdowns tomorrow. Plan ahead instead of hoping for the best. Online at FenwickHomeservices.com. That's FenwickHomeservices.com.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids. Healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Visionaries, builders, and doers. Are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash. almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
July 8th, 1965, MLB Hall of Fame infielder Joe Morgan becomes the first Houston Astros player with 6 hits in a game.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Oh, I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
All right, we're back on Primetime. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, RJ Saunders, Joe C. on vacation. Good for Joe C. All right, here we go. We're back to Pro Football Focus. And I want to tell you where they have the Jaguars ranked as far as rosters. Now, remember, this is rosters, the best to worst rosters in the league. We got to 7 with the Texans, and all hell broke loose. 8 is the Bengals, which we went over this a week ago, and we were all like, they're even with the Bengals or a better roster, the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. All right? Cowboys, we also said, very even, very close, very close. Bills was iffy. Dolphins also iffy. Browns also iffy. These are all ahead of the Jaguars in this list, okay? Packers, Rams, Falcons.
That's insane.
Falcons at 15 with a better roster than the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. Steelers at 16 with a better roster than the Jaguars. Seahawks, Bucks, better roster than the Jaguars. Jaguars are at 19.
Wow.
Just ahead of the Bears, who in the last 2 years have been probably the worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what that has to.
No offense, TD.
Yeah, exactly. That has a lot to probably have to do with their collapse, bro. Because this team going into the season last year had a top 10 roster. They had a top 10 roster last year.
At least that was the narrative.
The narrative.
Just like the narrative now with the Texans.
Absolutely.
With the top 10 roster.
Yeah.
With the quarterback who's going to be an MVP. Mm-hmm. With young guys on the rise.
Yeah. That's coming off good.
Right.
See, when you come off good, you get ranked better. All right? The Texans are coming off good. Win the division. You're talking about the team, the organization over the last couple of years, picked in the top 5. I mean, we were like stepbrothers. we were like stepbrothers.
I mean, 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That
collapse. Yeah. See, the way the Jaguars, the narrative has changed about this, the organization, from the start of the season towards the end of the season. Because I told you, for a team to be 8-3 and collapse like that, man, and to get manhandled. Not only did they get manhandled down the stretch, I mean, people's interpretation of you changes, man. You know, the borderline soft, man. The borderline soft.
Without the T?
Yeah, without the T.
Without the T, so they're just soft. So you say this all the time that these guys, they don't need motivation. But, man, all off season, they have to be reading this stuff. They have to be hearing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They are the only – if you're a competitor and you hear that stuff, that has to make you – that has to, like, light your fire a little bit, does it not?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen – the media absorption by the players is a lot more overwhelming nowadays than it was back in my day.
Right.
Because if I ain't
social media.
Yeah. And back in my day, if I ain't want to hear about what people saying, I ain't pick up the paper.
Right.
You know. But now every guy's got Facebook, they got Instagram, they got TikTok, they got Twitter, and you got all these different outlets and fans, and they're on your page and telling you this, and that, right? So it's a lot more overwhelming to these players now than it was when I was playing. So yeah, I mean, but. The way this team collapses towards the end, man, everybody has to look at themselves in the mirror. And I always said this every offseason, don't let you be the problem.
Right.
Don't let you be the problem.
Right.
All right. So, I mean, this team is in no position to be comfortable. Nobody should be comfortable going into this season. You haven't done anything.
Right. All right. And this whole conversation also was on the heels, I should say, of we talked about Shad Khan and how this team is addicted to free agency and cannot be addicted to free agency. It's now time to draft and draft well and develop players, and that's on the coaches. It's on the GM. It's on everyone. Everyone's got to be aligned. That's how you work. That's how you win games. That's how you build a roster. That's how you win playoff games. RJ made a great point earlier in the show when he said, guys, give us 3 or 4 guys, drafted guys. So organically drafted and developed guys that need to rise and become the focus of this team. Who would you say? 3 or 4? Give me 4.
Number 1 with a bullet is Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, and I'm not saying that Trevor has to do anything rah-rah out of the ordinary, but he's got to say, hey, this is the brand of ball we're going to play. All right, period.
Right.
And he's had success, all kind of success. Trevor Lawrence would be my number 1. My number 2 would be Josh Allen. Josh Allen, if he hasn't done it already, defensively. That defensively, they were soft down the stretch, but you can't have that.
Yeah.
If you got to get on guys to play at your level, then get on guys. My third guy would probably be Etienne. Probably be Etienne.
Right.
I was trying to think of somebody on the offensive line, but they're
it would have been great if it was Fortner. If Fortner took the next step last year and became like a rock in the middle, yeah, then you've got a dude there. You know what I mean?
I was going to say Cam, but the suspension and injuries and stuff like that.
It's hard. It's hard for anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for them. Yeah. So I went with Etienne, and on the other side, Tyson Campbell. I could have went Trayvon Walker, but I'm Tyson Campbell. A lot's going to be expected out of the secondary this year. All right, because you're playing more of a attack style man coverage type of. Those guys on the back end got to cover, bro. If they don't get home, they're going to be left on islands. So they going to have to cover. So, and he's in the contract year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna agree with. I think all those are great picks. Trayvon obviously does. I think we've seen that he's kind of not that guy. He's a guy that's just gonna play, and you watch how I play, and then you're gonna see who I am, and I'm fine with that. Especially the way he's trending right now. He is ascending right now. There's any question about that. And again, I've been one of his biggest critics all along. I think he's gonna have a great year this year. I think it's got to be because of the position, Tyson Campbell. You got to have attitude on the outside, man. You got to have a guy that can sit out there on an island and say, come at me, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm taking you on. Let's go. You know, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Jamar Chase, whoever. You got, Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill. Come at me. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And I think if you've got that attitude out there and you got a guy who's making plays, if Tyson Campbell can play like he was at the top of his game 2 years ago, then you've got a really good thing at an important position, obviously in the vertical passing league that it is, and Cisco on the back end. Because I think Cisco has shown he's a guy that can bring it. Mm-hmm. He's got a little double D in him, a little Dom and Darius in him. And he's got some attitude, man. And if he becomes that guy, then you've got two guys in the secondary that are like, come get it. Let's go. I'm going to cover you, and I'm going to hit the hell out of you. And if you got guys like that, I think you're in great shape. All right, we need to go to break. We'll get into hour number 2. If the rain hasn't sidetracked the quarterback guru, he'll be in. We'll talk a lot of this stuff, more football, college football. If not, we're going to get into a little Miami, Florida that I promised you earlier in the show. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Bringing the thunder.
An all-out blitz. They hit him as he lets it go. The ball comes out.
1010XL.
The Jags are going to run it into the end zone.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Touchdown for Jacksonville.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
It's the Big One sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 per month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 per month. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 400 used cars in stock and more than 100 vehicles under $18K. And you even get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Shop the Big One sales event, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
The humidity may be rising, but the prices are dropping at Beard's Diamonds.
It's Christmas in July. Everything store-wide is on sale up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Don't shop anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center.
Mia here, and we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino? Canceled because real life came calling. MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. The live casino is so easy to use. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action's in the palm of your hands and you don't even need to wear pants. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL. A revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. Sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win, only with MyBookie.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234. Make the right connection.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
I'm RJ Saunders with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update for 1010 XL. NFL training camp will be here before you know it for the Jacksonville Jaguars. First round pick Brian Thomas Jr. met with WAFB in Louisiana and spoke on what he's enjoyed about Jacksonville so far.
Just everything, like being, I guess, like almost feeling like home. It feel like home to me. I feel like my home back here, just transferred like to Jacksonville. Just being able to be around. I got Mason and Jordan out there. Blessed enough to have those two out there too from LSU, and just like really almost like the home feeling that I get out there in Jacksonville.
Sound courtesy of WAFB in Louisiana. Currently 88 degrees at 3:05. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller. XL Primetime continues on 1010XL.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
All right, back on XL Primetime. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, RJ Saunders, and now, of course, I was telling everybody, you don't like Guru. You don't like Whisperer either.
I don't.
But I think you take Whisperer over Guru, right?
No.
You take Guru over Whisperer?
No.
I know it's neither. I get you don't like either. I get it, but if you had to have one.
Well, I mean, I guess Whisperer, because I'm far from a guru. Like, far from a guru. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, real quick, can I just say that I'm super thankful for George Moore right now because of this rain, because otherwise I'd be in my Jeep with the top down.
Right. Now you got your Silverado.
Oh, now I got the Silverado. I just roll straight through it. No problems. Thank you, Justin Moore.
Let me tell you
get you a
something.
truck over there.
Go over to Leonard and get your truck like souped out like I got. They take care of you, man.
I'm good.
They take care of you. All right. Real quick, before we get into it with the Guru, we got a lot to get into, all right? We asked in the first hour, and we get Denny's thoughts on this as well. He's also not one to actually go after GMs or coaches typically, but he may in this sense. The Jaguars failed to make the playoffs this year. Who should be held at fault? And your possibilities are Doug Peterson, Trent Baalke, or both right now. On X, 57%, the leader is both. 27% is Trent Baalke, 15% is Doug Peterson. Now, I've been saying all along, Denny, that I think Doug Peterson's top 5, top 7 quarterback coach in the NFL. I think he's terrific what he's done. What he did here is just way undervalued as he came into a team that had back-to-back seasons of the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Picked first in the NFL back-to-back seasons. Also came off just an unprecedented, I don't even know what you call that with Herb. But it wasn't good, okay? He follows that. They overachieve. Then they underachieve. And now here we are in year 3. And I don't know if you heard this, what we were talking about earlier. Shad Khan was speaking to a select group of guys that cover the team. And he was talking about, it's now on the coaches as much as the players. The quote, I think there's a sea of change for us. And this is for our coaching, that they have to develop young players. Our solution isn't going to be we're going to be signing free agents every year. We don't have the ability. Bottom line is that young talent has to be developed. The coaching staff, their priorities have to change. Their mindset has to change. That's where we're going to get our football players. We cannot have this addiction to free agents. Now, part of that is because they've just signed Trevor to a huge deal, and Josh Allen do a huge deal, and more than likely, if Tyson Campbell plays well and Andre Sisco plays well, they're going to get paid. They're going to get paid too. So. The cap is shrinking, but his point is it's time to develop from the draft.
Well, I also think when you have 2 number 1 picks, right? Number 1 overall, and then what was Josh Allen? Number
7.
7, right? And then you start to go through, you've got a lot of top 20 draft picks on this roster. Then, yeah, you better develop. I mean, if you've got 2 number 1 picks, those are supposed to be franchise-saving guys. Like, yeah, I mean, it's and those 2 number 1 picks, by the way, athletically, physically,